Okay, good evening, everybody. This is the Networking Superstar School for Tuesday evening, and we are having a Pinterest party tonight. And I've got with me, yay! Get your party hats on. I've got with me my friends, expert authors, and fellow ambassadors, nutty ambassadors, Robin Smith and Nicole Hanchi. And we're going to take you through some really interesting information about Pinterest. Now, it's my kind of experience that many marketers have a Pinterest account and not many people really use it for marketing or even showcasing their brand because A, they're not really quite sure what to do with it, B, it's a bit overwhelming. You think you've got to have all this massive stuff on there, and it's kind of one of those things that just sits on the sidelines and nobody ever really gets around to. So what we're going to do today is we've got 3 parts to the party tonight. Part 1 is why you should be using Pinterest for your marketing. Part 2 is 6 tips for your profile, to create that kind of power profile, to make sure that you've got everything just how it should be and you're ready, set to go, your SEO and everything is got a really good foundation for you to move on. And part 3, which you're going to love, part 3 is some quick wins. So it's how you can set up some automated sharing from your other social profiles directly to Pinterest. And you don't really, once you've set them up, you don't actually have to do anything about them. Now, obviously, the point of Pinterest is not to have it all automated like that, but you can share some key social profiles to your Pinterest profile, and it will give you a basis, and it also means that everything that you share there will link back to your others. Now, I'm being a bit vague here because I don't want to mention anything and spoil the fun when we get to part 3. So what we're going to do now is we'll kick off. I'll ask Robin to kick us off, and we'll start with number 1 reason why you should use Pinterest for your marketing. Thank you, Robin.
Sure. Number 1, you hear it all the time, you talk about it all the time, branding you. Okay, don't brand your company, brand you. Like my hat, by the way? I'm a queen! Anyway, you're going to organize your business in almost like a magazine fashion, okay? That way people can see it. It's already there. Almost looks like a catalog, can show it off. You categorize all your products neatly across the boards. Another tip would be to give tutorials in a section or how-to section. That way people can just go there and learn whatever you're sharing. You know, for example, I share Instagram tips. I share Instagram tutorials on different boards. So people come to my account, they want to learn about Instagram, they can see them. Another suggestion is like a showcase behind the scenes. People always love to check out behind the scenes, okay? I always tell people we always see the finished end product, you know, for example, the bottle. It'd be kind of cool to see how the bottle's made, right? I mean, I always find that, you know, maybe I'm a geek, but I always find that really cool. So I always like to check out, you know, a behind the scenes kind of thing of the people I'm working with and the businesses I'm working with. You can kind of share you, and that's exactly what we want to do, is we want to brand you, not your business. So number 2 would be Nicole.
Sorry, I muted myself, and I just realized it. Hello. Robin, I feel this is bringing back memories. Is this bringing back memories for you? Oh, she's muted now.
Sorry. Apparently, the A team must have remembered my crown because I didn't even push it. It just put headgear and this showed up. So.
Yes, yes. This is bringing back some memories. Fond memories. I feel that this is it's only fitting as Google Hangouts go bye-bye. We must don our headwear. Jacs, you should don some headwear.
I'm finding some headwear, and yes, it's a bit sad. Google's changing again, isn't it? Everything's closing down on us. What are we going to do?
I don't know, but sorry, I digress. Let me get serious here. It's time to get to business. I just thought I would take a trip down memory lane there, Robin. All right. Oh, yay! That's perfect. I love it. Okay. Number 2, and I'm so excited to share some of these. These are my favorite reasons for being on Pinterest. I absolutely love Pinterest. There are 7 million people on there right now, and it's just continuing to grow. I mean, it's just continuing to climb up and up and up. I don't see interest in Pinterest going away. That was kind of hard to say. Going away anytime soon. I mean, I know Pinterest is my go-to for so many things, whether I just want to learn something, or I have an event coming up and I'm looking for cool ideas, or I want to decorate part of my house. I mean, whatever. I use it for so many different things. The coolest part about Pinterest is that 70% of the people on that platform are buyers. They come to Pinterest to buy stuff. I know I go to Pinterest to buy stuff. I just bought some wall decor for my daughter's room on Pinterest, and and I went specifically hunting for it, and I went straight to Pinterest. So that's a good thing. You're looking for people that come to the table with money. Pinterest is the place to be. 60% of the traffic is from top-tier U.S. households that have disposable income, that are earning more than $100,000 per year or more. So this is good. These people are ready. They got money burning a hole in their pocket, and they're ready to spend it with you. So if that doesn't compel you to go over and get started on Pinterest today, I don't know what will. The average purchase is between $140 and $180, which I think is pretty compelling. We're not talking $7 products here and there. I know I just spent $50, piece of cake there. I mean, it's easy to go there. You're prepared to spend money. They're prepared to spend a lot of money. So you should be hanging out there. And there are so many different things that people go to Pinterest for. They just kind of search and shop and browse for anything from like inspiration to information, and of course products. That's pretty much what I go there for. I'm looking for ideas for whatever I've got going on in my life. But of course, I'm also ready to buy products to bring that that to vision, to reality for me. So, and the cool thing, and this is my favorite part, you can kind of compile it all, just pin things, and just kind of save them for your future reference and let other people see it. So it's a great place to kind of get that viral exposure, because it's natural. People are going to pin your stuff if they like it, because they're going to want to be able, like Robin was saying, if I go to Robin's account and I see a super cool Instagram training that she's put there, I'm going to pin it because I want to be able to go back to it and refer. And what does that do? That makes my followers see Robin's post. So fantastic way to get viral exposure for whatever you've got going on your Pinterest board. I think that was number 2 for me.
Perfect, Nicole. I think you filled us in. I think we've got pages of notes after that one. Brilliant. Okay, so that was number 2 reason. Number 3 reason is that Pinterest is very shareable and it's very sociable. And what I mean by that is that it connects and interconnects really well with everywhere else really that you are on your web. It's great for your blog. You can showcase your Pinterest account on your blog by having a widget, and you can also have sharing buttons, and you can also have a follow me button on your blog. So that kind of creates that little circle that you've got going there. It also interacts really well with Facebook. With your fan page, you can have a what do they call them, a tab on your fan page. And again, so people visiting your fan page, you can join that up with Pinterest too. And there's also this automated thing that we're covering in part 3, and that brings in a lot of connections with Pinterest and your other social accounts. So it's almost like everything that you do on social media has a place somewhere on your Pinterest board. Basically, your Pinterest boards are a showcase of your brand, like Robin said earlier. So everything that you do has a little place there, and you can connect the profiles up. So it's shareable and it's sociable, and you can move your audience and your visitors, your fans, whatever you call them on all the platforms. They can all interact with your Pinterest account as well. So that's number 3. Reason number 3 for being on Pinterest. It's very shareable and very sociable. Okay, moving on back to Robin.
Number 4. So she said it's shareable, sociable, and it's searchable. Got to get all these S's in correctly. Searchable. It is, like I always like to say, you know, Instagram hashtags are the Google search for Instagram. Pinterest is an amazing search engine, okay? In fact, a lot of people that I talk to, and maybe you guys can agree, tell me they actually go to Pinterest sometimes even before Google now for searching for certain things, you know, because their search engine is just awesome. And Google loves Pinterest, okay? They intertwine very well together. Any keywords that show up on Pinterest show up on Google searches, so that way your pins can actually show up on a Google search if keyworded correctly. The URLs benefit, and then what's really very, very important, and anybody who's a blogger will definitely understand this, is the do follow links. They give you higher SEO rankings. This is what everybody wants, and this is what Pinterest does for you. So if you're a blogger, definitely make sure you are pinning things onto Pinterest.
Thank you, Robin. Sorry, this muting and unmuting is quite tricky, isn't it, after Blab? You kind of keep talking and you're not on. I'm sorry. So we're going to move on now to Nicole with reason number 5.
Number 5. And I love this analogy, too, because I really do feel like seeing your presence out on social media in general it's like giving people a look inside of your shop as if you had a brick and mortar shop. What do you want them to see? What do you want them to kind of look through the window and see that's going to make them come in that front door? And so I think Pinterest is beautiful, you know, to kind of play that, you know, analogy out, because, you know, they can come in and it's just kind of think about, and I know our shopping stores have changed a lot in our malls recently, but you used to be able to walk in, say, you know, to you know, like a Macy's or a Dillard's, or I know we have different ones in different places, but, you know, a retail store, and you have different bays, you know, and you can go over here and you can see a little bit about, you know, this, you know, Estee Lauder, or come over here and see MAC makeup, or, you know, every different thing, you know, this Michael Kors purses are over here. It's the same thing. When somebody comes into your Pinterest profile, they've got all these different boards that they can just kind of journey through and see, you know, oh, well, what has she got for Instagram, or what is, you know, what's in here for Twitter, or, you know, what's in here for attraction marketing, or what's in here for Pinterest. And they can just sort of pick the boards that they want to kind of explore more and kind of dig into what you have to offer, the value that you have to share, tutorials and things that you've put in there. That display your talents, that show off your products and tools and tips and anything that you've got to offer, you know, your audience that you feel will lend value to them. So, and the cool thing is, you know, all of the images, each image, I should say this way, each image is a place where you can put a unique link. Right, so for example, on Instagram, you know, you've just got the one link in your bio, and that's the only clickable link that you have on Instagram, which is unique to Instagram. But on Pinterest, every single post that you have on there, every single image that you're putting up, you can send them to different places. If you want to send people to your blog with certain content, you can do that. If you want to send them over to connect with you, maybe on your Facebook fan page or your Facebook group, you can do that in another area. Whatever you want to do, it's very flexible, and I really love that about Pinterest.
Yeah, you're quite right there. It's that link thing is very special, very special.
Yeah.
And if you use it correctly, it's brilliant. Anyway, thank you. Those were our 5 reasons, and I'm just going to tell you, kind of summarize all those together. And so your overall mission on Pinterest is, now this is my Pinterest formula, is 1, attract with your images. So you're attracting attention by your images to your audience. Number 2, you're directing your audience with your links. So you direct them when they click that link where you want them to go. And number 3 is you're selling with your value. So whatever you have at the end of that link is your value, and that is what's going to bring you your sales. So basically that formula pulls together everything that you're doing on every social media platform. This is what it's all about. Turning it around, you create the value, and then you direct people to the links. So what we're doing on Pinterest, you're attracting people, which is kind of the attraction marketing formula that we're all following. And so that just fits perfectly. Pinterest is an attraction marketing formula. So that's kind of a little summary to the 5 reasons you should use Pinterest for your marketing. Okay,
I love your formula, Jax. I liked that.
Yeah, it's kind of, you know, simple, but it actually, it's kind of, it goes really for other social media platforms as well, I think, because when you're doing attraction marketing, you are, wherever you're posting anything, you're attracting. What I kind of like about Pinterest is that it's almost the end point for any value that you create anywhere on any other platform. If you pull it into Pinterest, then there it is, and people can always see it, you know, so it's like attracting there for you, even when you're not there, you know, whoever's coming through, whoever's searching, there it is. So yeah, it's kind of like everything you do to attract anywhere, pull it into Pinterest, and then it's got like a double purpose, you know, it's always working for you. So that's the end of part 1. So we'll move on to part 2. Part 2, we've got 6 tips here for setting up what I call your Pinterest power profile. And Pinterest is just like any other social media platform. You have a profile, you put in certain elements, and that it's what you put into it which is going to give you that kind of long-term, deep-rooted stability. You've got to get the right keywords, like Robin was saying. Pinterest is very searchable, and within Pinterest there are certain areas which are searchable, and that includes the URL. It includes your profile name. It includes your profile text. It includes the names of your boards, and it includes the text that you put in the descriptions of your pins. So anyone searching on Pinterest will, whatever they're searching for, they'll come up with words that are in any of those places. And basically hashtags are not a big thing on Pinterest. People use them, but they're not something that basically Pinterest really pays much attention to. If you do any promoted pins and things like that, then I think you're maybe only allowed 1 or no more than 2. Might only be 1 actually, but they just don't like them for some reason. But you don't need them because it's the words that you would normally put on a hashtag. Forget the hashtag and just use the words. If you have a specially branded one, then you know, particularly for your brand, then there's no harm in sticking them on. You know, I do sometimes because I share things within different, you know, social media platforms. It won't do you any harm, but it's not a big thing. So it's not an Instagram, you know, hashtag mania. It's almost like you have to take your hashtag hat off and just forget they exist and just use the words without the hashtag, and then you'll be fine. So what we've got now, if we've got 6 tips, so we're just going to cover some quickly some key points, 6 points from your profile to help you get set up to just do the right things quickly. They're all very quick tips and won't take you long to do, but if you do them right from the beginning, then you've got a good foundation, and by far the best way to do. So, okay, Robin.
Number 1, your pretty face. Your profile picture, okay? Yes, smiley, happy profile picture. It can be a picture of you if you're branding you, or if it is your company, you can brand your company. Not a network marketing company, but if you have like a brick and mortar store or something like that, you can brand that. But again, you want to use the same picture that you use on other social media platforms, so people start to recognize you, get more used to seeing the same picture over and over again, just so you're keeping it consistent across the board. And again, smiley, happy, you know, show who you are. So that's number 1, a close-up smiley picture. It's a circle, remember, so you might have to cut some of it off. I always laugh at that. I always had it. It actually took me a while to find a picture that fit in there, apparently.
My turn?
Sorry, yes, I'm talking to myself again. Thank you, Nicole.
I didn't want want to talk over the top of Robin. So yes, just in keeping with what Robin said, the next number 2, you want to choose your URL. You can customize this, and as we would encourage you across all accounts to always brand yourself, like Robin was just saying. So use your name. You know, if you're in business for yourself, what do you think people are going to search for when they're looking for you? They're going to search for your name. So if you have strange, you know, symbols and you know, maybe you've put underscores and other things, or you've made a word out of your name and your partner's name, or you've got, you know, oh gosh, the word is escaping me, but your initials, people aren't going to remember that. They're going to remember your whole name. It's the easiest thing. It's what you really want them to be remembering anyway. So we would encourage you to choose a URL that has your name in it. Of course, you can add in another word that kind of goes along with whatever your branding is, but also just make sure that your name is in there so that when people are searching for you, as they will do looking for your name, your site comes up, your Pinterest site comes up. So just keep in mind that when you're creating it, that, you know, if it's not something people are going to know about you, like your secret initials or some hybrid of your name with, you know, your partner's name or something like that, they're not going to remember that. So just keep that in mind. Just remember that you can change your name if it's something that you realize now that you really should change, or if you try something and you decide you want to change it later, you can always do that. So you actually have about I think up to 15 characters. I think it has to be a minimum of 3. You can't actually have spaces, symbols, or characters in this, obviously, because it's a URL. So you want to keep to your name. I just do Nicole Hanchi. I mean, that's what I have in there. That's what I have everywhere. And so it's easy for people to find me that way. So yeah, just keep in mind that people are always going to be searching for you by your name, and that's what you want. So you want it everywhere. Plaster that everywhere. And that's number 2.
Brilliant. Thank you, Nicole. Which leads us quite nicely onto number 3, which is actually deciding on your profile name for your account. Now, your profile name is what is shown across the top of your Pinterest page.
What is that?
Tunes.
Does anybody know what that is?
I don't. Okay.
Okay. I have
That's a nice party tune. It wasn't on the menu.
That somehow it seems like, I'm not sure if that's coming in from my Google somehow, because my Google's open to come into the Hangout. I think that was coming through my Google somehow. I have no idea what that was. Sorry about that, guys.
A nice little tune. We'll dance next time.
Apologies.
Okay, well, never mind about that. I've completely forgotten where I was, talking about profile names. Thank you, Nicole. Okay, yeah, so your profile name, again, like Nicole said, it should really be your name or your business name, or you can actually get 2 on there sometimes. You've got 50 characters, and now they've changed the format, again, quite recently. All of this actually shows across the top. So if you've got something quite long, then use it. What I would say is, if you're in a network marketing company, then you probably should brand your Pinterest profile to yourself. You do see, when you start using Pinterest, you're searching things, you do see quite a lot of people that actually put their network marketing company across the top of their header as well, and it's not something I would do. Quite a lot of people do it, but I think you do it from the point of view of people thinking, oh yes, I work for that company, but actually the point of networking superstars, attraction marketing, is not to put your company in front of you, it's to put you in front of your company. So if you have, if you're an expert in something, then put that next to your name in the title, okay? So brand it to what you do to give your value to people, and not your network marketing company. If you can if you can just let that go, that would be really good, because then people will remember you and they'll know you for what they have at the top. You don't want them to associate you on the front end with your network marketing company. Okay, so that might all sound a bit complicated, but you'll know what I mean if you know what I mean. So that's it basically. Again, keep it simple. It will show up in search, so people will find you by searching for you if, like Nicole said, you use something which is familiar. The same thing you use on every platform. Basically, just get people to recognize you. It's your brand that you're working with here. So if they know you from another platform, they come onto Pinterest, they join Pinterest, they'll think, oh, who do I know? Who do I follow? Who are my leaders? You know, who am I listening to? Who am I learning from? And they'll think, oh yes, they'll put your name in and you'll come up. So then they'll follow you. So that's really the whole point of your profile name. It's to give you exposure and people will find you and they'll find your brand. So that's it for your profile name. And back to Robin.
Hi. Your About Me section. Okay, your About Me section answers 3 questions in 160 characters. So you must be brief and to the point, okay? Your 3 questions are who you are, what you do, and why they should follow you. Okay, so you want to make sure you answer these 3 questions. Who you are, what you do, and why they should follow you in 160 characters. And if you can, put your industry keywords in there because, again, this is searchable. Like we said, it'll show up on Google. It'll show up on the search of Pinterest. So if your industry keywords, for example, I am an Instagram marketer, I would put Instagram marketer, and that would show up there. So who you are, what you do, why they should follow you.
All set? You ready for me to do 5? Oh, she's already muted. Okay. All right, time for number 5. Okay, so you definitely want to add your website. If you don't have a website yet or a blog, that's okay. You might want to add a link to maybe your Facebook fan page or your Facebook group or wherever it is that you're kind of hanging out, where people can come connect with you further, where you would want them to come connect with you further. But you definitely want to have that in there because you want people to be able to find you, right? You want them to come one step further into your layer so that they can find out more about you and make decisions on whether they want to work with you or not. So make sure that you have your link in the About Me area. It's going to be right there at the top. So make sure you're sending them to the best possible place where they can connect with you, learn more about you, learn more about what you do for your business, and just kind of connect with you and start to build those know, like, and trust factors with you. So the cool thing is that you have analytics. Pinterest actually gives you sort of a baseline of analytics, really important because that will help you. And I know a lot of people are like, no, I don't want to see analytics, it's scary. But it really is, and they're simple, but they will help you make good decisions about what to continue to put in your Pinterest account and on your boards and such, because you'll get a taste of what people are really interested in. So when you look at your analytics and you're seeing, a ton of traffic and something going on with a particular post, you've kind of, hit the jackpot there, and maybe that's a great topic for you to make more content for. So you definitely want to be using at least these basic analytics so that you can continue to basically give your audience what it is that they want, because they're telling you that. By interacting and visiting and pinning your things and clicking on your links, they're telling you what they're interested in. So if you're not paying attention to that, you might very well be missing the mark a little bit. So if you want to continue to give your audience what they want, which is kind of the goal, then just use the basic analytics. Once you get your website link in there, you're going to want to verify that because you want Pinterest to kind of know that, yes, you're not a bot and you're a real person and the site is a real site. So once you get it loaded up in there, all you have to do is just kind of click through the link that they provide you, and it's basically saying, hey, Pinterest, this is a real site, I'm a real person, that kind of thing, and then you'll be approved. And so then you'll have access to additional analytics that will help you see how visitors are interacting with your website via your pins and your profile. So you kind of want to see how people are traveling over to wherever you're sending them, through what portals, through which of your pins are they doing that? What is the content that's grabbing them and kind of moving them along? Do more of that. That's number 5.
Yeah, perfect. No, that's a very important part. Probably not something that you'll focus on initially, but they really are simple and they're good, and the fact is that they're there for when you want them and when you do decide, hey, I want to actually know what people are looking at. And another useful thing is that they will, Pinterest will, you can set this up again in the settings to receive emails at whatever regular basis you want, which will also give you information on who's following you, who's pinning, and who's liking your content. So there's loads of stuff there that you can use. You don't have to use it initially, but you've definitely got to get yourself linked up with your website, because you know whatever your hub, your social hub is, your website is, you know, it's definitely there. Everything comes into your website, so that's what you've got to get done. And the other thing is, number 6 is linking to social accounts, Facebook and Twitter. You have the option to link to these accounts in your settings, and I would certainly advise that you do that. When you're pinning from around the web, you will generally find that there is a checkbox which offers you the option to share to Twitter or to Facebook. It will only pin to your Facebook profile yet. There's no pages on there. So it may be something you might want to do for certain pins and not for others. But if you've set it up, then you're given a checkbox option, so you can check them yes or no as per pin, depending on the content that you may or may not want something to go to your personal Facebook profile, depending on what you're actually pinning. So that was number 6, is link to your social profiles, Facebook and Twitter. Now, all of these things, number 1 to 6, you can find these if you go into your Pinterest profile, go to your settings, and all of these things are changeable in there. And there are some others, but these are the key things which is important, that you get the SEO and you get the right information, like Robin said, your right profile information there. Just get that right from the beginning, and then you're away. You know, you're kind of set up, and right from the beginning, you will be kind of attracting people who are searching without you actually having to do any more. You can go back and change things if you so want to, but once you're set up, you've got your foundations there. So that's the key thing for part 2, really, of our party today. So now we will move on to part 3, which is about some automation and some quick wins here. We've got 4 quick wins. Now, these are something that anyone can set up, and I'm quite aware that most people probably at the moment are not using Pinterest as their primary marketing or lead generation site. I hope that you're beginning to see now the value of Pinterest and the value of sharing what you're creating with your Pinterest profile, because that is a snapshot of your brand. And you create content all day, every day probably, or some every day. Now you'll be creating blogs, you'll be creating Facebook posts, Instagram posts, you might be creating videos, you might be posting tweets. Now if they've got an image, that's good. If they haven't, obviously they won't work on Pinterest. But whatever you're doing on any other social profile can be shared with Pinterest. And we're going to run through here. We've got 4 quick wins that you can set up. Now, we have a bit of a love affair going on between Pinterest and IFTTT. And it also goes the other way. IFTTT loves Pinterest. So there are quite a lot of recipes in there, and we've been testing these out on Networking Superstars, and actually I use them all on my own profile as well. But we've got 4 different places where we have got recipes set up. So that means that when you post content to X, 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 and X, which we'll tell you in a minute, then that content will be transferred straight away to a particular Pinterest board. So without any effort or any trouble, you can find that your content is now in 2 places rather than 1. So I'm not going to say any more. I'm going to pass it across to the girls, and we're going to start the rundown of the 4 different places. Now, these are recipes that we've been using, and they're working most of the time. So you can believe us that they work. And
I guess it's me.
yes, sorry, Robin. Did I mute myself too soon?
I think so. Yeah.
I
you
do
were
apologize.
talking and nothing was coming out.
Still haven't got the hang of this. Where's Blab? Come back, Blab, please. It was so much more fun. And I miss all those little things we used to press too. But anyway, I do apologise if anybody missed anything there, but I'm passing on to Robin, and she's doing number 1 of our quick wins with IFTTT. Yes,
IFTTT. You can set up a board where all your Instagram pictures go onto Pinterest in a certain board. Isn't that amazing? Okay, I mean, think about it. I don't know about you, but I spend time on my Instagram posts, okay? And they go on, and people see them for like, what, a day or 2, and then they're pushed down, and you really don't see them anymore. But with this, you can actually set them up, put them in a board. Again, remember, it's searchable. People are going to see it. So I can create an image today, put it on there, and maybe a year from now, somebody will actually see it. That will never happen on Instagram, okay? Trust me. So it's so great. You put it on there, set up a board. One little thing I'm going to say, and Jacs will laugh because this is something we learned. We did not know. The 2 of us learned this, is the board you are posting to, or you are pinning to, must be public, okay? Cannot have a private board, okay? If you do a private board, you're going to get an error every time. So make sure the board is public. That is just a little FYI, extra golden nugget tick that I'm going to give you. But you can go on to If This Then That, type in Instagram to Pinterest. You'll see it. It comes up real easy. And all you do is put your Instagram account and link your Pinterest account and name the board, and you're good to go. So that's for Instagram for IFTTT.
Are you ready for me?
Yes, go ahead.
I'm trying to think if I wonder if you guys can see. Can you see that? I was gonna try to show there. That's the icon. If you search for it in your app store from your phone, it's actually the app. It's called If. If This Then That, which was the original name. So go download it now because it's awesome. So you can actually, just like Robin was explaining, you can use If to hook up basically your Facebook with your Pinterest. You can do it with your Facebook fan page or business page, whatever you like to call it, or you can also do it with your Facebook profile as well. And then, of course, all of your pins will link back to that particular post on, your profile page or on your fan page, so they can see all of the original content, where it was originally posted. So that's a cool way to drive traffic from Pinterest over to Facebook, particularly, if that's where you're hanging out. I think most of us do most of our time on Facebook. If you're a network marketer, you're on Facebook. So this is a great strategy for connecting with people more on Facebook. So all you have to do is just set up a board, for example, for your Facebook fan page posts, and then you just create your recipe so that all of your fan page posts go straight in there, and it'll bring the images along with it as well. So it's not just the content; it's the whole shebang bang, and then this will get pinned onto that particular board inside of your profile. And again, the same thing with your Facebook profile, you could do the same thing. And then, of course, if you want to get like super nifty, you can, establish particular hashtags in some of your recipes if you want certain posts to go to specific boards. So all you have to do is just create. You just have to remember to put the hashtag in the actual post on Facebook, which sometimes I have forgotten to do. So you just have to kind of get in that groove of remembering which hashtags to put in which posts so that they go to the right boards. But it's pretty nifty, and it's super easy to be multiple places with the press of one button. So big fan here.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, were you done there?
I was.
Excellent. Thank you, Nicole. Okay, so we've got Instagram, we've got Facebook. The next one is YouTube, which is kind of funky. I don't know if you all know, but you can pin any YouTube video directly onto Pinterest, and it will play within Pinterest. So if you set up an IFTTT recipe or an if recipe, if they've rebranded their name, then if you create a video and it's uploaded into, or you've created it on your own YouTube account, then it will automatically appear on the board on your Pinterest account. So, do you know, that's actually a really useful thing, because it's something I always forget, is to go back and actually pin the videos. So it means that, for example, the next one is blogs. Now, if you're writing a blog and you're putting a video into your blog, what is excellent is if you have an IFTTT set up for your blog, which would be number 4, then you will automatically repin the blog, but you will also automatically repin the video from your blog to a separate board, and it will carry across for you the name and the content. So if anyone clicks on that video, they will then be able to see the link to get back to your blog. So that's another little circle that you're actually managing to create. So it's kind of how Pinterest worms its way into your social network. Just another one of those little links that comes in there. And if you really utilize the IFTTT methods, they can really enhance, and they can spread out, and it just means people have more and more chances to find you and to find your content. And a lot of people miss YouTube out of their marketing, because it's almost something you have to remember to then bring back into your social media. So this is a great way of kind of incorporating it. So that is number 4 as well. So we've got YouTube number 3, and we've got your blog number 4. And I've got one little bonus tip. Now, if you are a Networking Superstars affiliate, then this isn't an IFTTT trick. But if you are a Networking Superstars affiliate, and I would hope that you go to the Networking Superstars blog and you actually read all the information that the expert authors are putting up there. Now, we've got 7 authors and we've got 7 social platforms which we're showcasing for you, and we're building up a whole library of information, marketing in all of these, how to get leads and how to generate sales through all of these social platforms. Now, if you're on the Networking Superstars blog and you pin one of those blogs to a board on your Pinterest profile, then you can adjust the link to put in your affiliate link. So that is just a little bonus there. Now, I don't know whether people know this or whether they don't, but it means then that on Pinterest you have a blog, it could be by any of us, that say, let's take Facebook for example. Now, Laura, who isn't here tonight, but we love her dearly, and she writes fantastic blogs on Facebook. Now, if you pin one of Laura's blogs from the Networking Superstars blog to your Pinterest profile. Now, I suspect that you probably on your Pinterest board have something called Facebook marketing, Facebook tips, Facebook information, and you pin her blog to there, then you can go into that link and you can add your affiliate link onto it. So anyone coming through your profile who's thinking, Facebook, yeah, like Facebook, so they have a look at what you've got to see on your boards, they click on that, then what's happening is that that person is then cookied to you for the Networking Superstars affiliate program. So that's a little tip there.
Those are some really powerful tips, Jacs.
Yeah. So
that's awesome.
If you're not doing it, then get this information that everyone is creating, get it onto your Pinterest boards and get your affiliate links on it. It's content that is valuable. It's just full of information, and you don't have to create it. All you have to do is pin it and put your affiliate link on, and boom, a little bit of magic there.
That's awesome. Wow.
Yeah. So that's my little tip for the evening.
Oh, we do have a question, Jacs. Did you see that?
Let's have a little look. No, let me scroll down a bit.
Okay.
Is it possible to move an already posted pin to a new board? You can pin it to another board, and then I guess you could delete it from the old one if you don't want it on the old one. But if you go onto a pin on your profile and you click, they call it save now, they don't call it pin anymore, but there's the big red button that says save. If you click save, it will come up with your own boards there, and it will say at the top, it looks like you've already pinned this pin to your board because obviously it's on your account, but they will allow you to pin it. I actually did 1 or 2 earlier today, so you can pin it to another board, and then I guess you could, if you wanted to, you could delete it from where you were. If that helps, I hope.
Okay.
Okay, so not many more. Okay, so not really any questions. Well, I hope that was interesting, and
I learned a lot.
I learned a lot. Yeah.
You did great,
I got some work to do, man, tonight.
I know.
Yeah, well, we're all kind of we're all learning this stuff now, and it's it's brilliant. So we've done 3 parts there, so I think we've kind of covered quite a lot of information actually. So probably there's a bit of silence. Everyone's just digesting everything. So I'd just like to say thanks. Actually, it was brilliant. It's such a pleasure to bring this information, and it's kind of joining up, isn't it? All of our own social things. We're all connecting together, and as all the expert authors come together, and with all of these, well, it were labs, but they're not anymore, networking superstar schools, then we're all gradually expanding the social, our social kind of reach out into different platforms. So, I think that's cool, and we're all doing it together. So,
thank you for hosting, Jacs. I learned so much from you today.
Oh, bless. Well, thank you for giving all your expert tips too. Who's on next week? Next week, is it YouTube?
It's YouTube with Sarah.
Okay,
yeah.
So we've got expert author Sarah Allison next week talking about YouTube. So that's going to be quite amazing. And
she's really rocking it over there. I don't know if you've seen her page, but she's really transformed it and rocking it.
Yeah, we're going to learn a lot, I think, from Sarah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. We better hustle and do our Pinterest thing so that when we're ready.
Yes.
I need to get the if this then that set up.
Well, we've got it set up on the Networking Superstars, and yeah, it's working cool. You can go and see your own videos there, guys, if you go and take a look.
Oh, jeez. I don't want to see your video.
Yeah. So there you go. So that's it, really. So we look forward to next week with Sarah and YouTube. And I'd just like to say thank you to everyone for listening, watching. If you've got any questions, then contact any of us through the Networking Superstars blog or the fan page, or connect with us directly. I'm sure you can find us somewhere in Networking Superstars, and we're all here to help you. So that's all I'd like to say. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, Robin. Oh. It's been really fun. I wish we could have had, yeah, party streamers and things next time. But
it's like,
like way above your head.
Oh. I got my hat.
Brilliant. Anyway, so good night to all. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.